Branden here, and time for more Branden's boy problems. So, I went to California recently, had a great time. I finally ended my dry spell, which had been going on for July to October. It was like end July, so yeah, I didn't hook up for like 2 months. It wasn't like fully by choice, it just was like a lot going on. It's like my one consistent fuck buddy, like, disappeared on me and had his own stuff to deal with, and now he's been like different ever since, and he's like doesn't want to, I guess, hook up in the bed he shares with his boyfriend anymore, but he still wants to cheat on his boyfriend. But then I'm just kind of like, if you can't host, I don't know how we're gonna hook up, because it's like I'm not driving to you, picking you up, driving you back to my place, then having to drive you back. Like, I don't do that. You either gotta be able to host or travel. I don't do the whole you can't do both. So yeah, so he's kind of been out of the picture. I'm just like chalking that up to just being a summer fling. So time to move on. And then he did give me an STI, even though he claims he didn't have an STI, even though he told me he had an STI. So I went and got treated proactively. And then he told me he didn't have an STI, but then my results came back positive for the STI. So then I'm just kind of confused how it's like, you're claiming you didn't have the STI, even though you told me you had the STI, had symptoms of the STI, and then told me to go get tested, and then I go get tested and treated, and then my results did come back for something, you just didn't. And like, he's the only guy I was having sex with like all summer. Like, I did hook up like end of June with a condom. So yeah, he was like the only person I was having like sex with pretty much like most of the summer. So that was just more drama. And then it was just like the whole monkeypox scare. And I was just kind of like, yeah, I'm not hooking up again until I get fully vaccinated, which thankfully I am, thanks to whatever my fucking scar that all of us gays have to have now, because because the government wanted to use up those smallpox vaccines that were going to waste, but whatever. So it just was like a big dry spell of no sex, no hooking up, celibacy. And I know some people were just like, I'm gonna be celibate to get more clarity, be more productive, and blah, blah, blah. I'm just was kind of like, like, celibacy does not really motivate me. I feel like sex makes me happier. So I feel like not having sex is really not beneficial to my life. But I did get over that, ended the dry spell, hooked up in California. It was a complete disaster. I'm assuming it was because, one, I hadn't had sex for months, so it kind of just like weird when you bottom again for the first time after like not a long time. And it's like, I tried to like use my toy, like I like to open myself up before like a trip, so like I try to use like my dildo or my prostate massager like the night before. But I guess too much time had maybe gone by, and like, yeah, it just felt really uncomfortable. Also, he only would have sex with a condom, and condoms just are not designed for anal sex, really. I mean, I'm sure they might make some that are better for anal sex, but I mean, sex honestly just feels better without a condom. So like, it was just the whole being super tight, and then the whole condom being rough, and then the whole like, he was more so the type where it's like, I can't come until after my bottom comes, and I'm just kind of like, ew. Like, I just want a guy to fucking pound me and come as fast as possible, and then we move on with our day. Like, I'm not like the whole, I want to have sex for hours and hours, or I want to have sex for like all night. Like, that's really just not me, especially since it's like, I have to starve myself for hours. I have to like douche out everything inside of me. I have to like put in a butt plug. I have to like get drunk or like high or whatever. And I'm just like, there's a lot that goes into bottomy. So I'm just kind of like, I don't know. Like, not to say like I've never been able to do like all night or whatever, but I'm just like, I'm not that type of person where I'm just like, yeah, I need it all night long. Like, that just seems boring to me. Like, we did it, we completed it, let's do other stuff, like cuddle and tell each other secrets. Like, that's like more appealing to me, like, than having sex all night. But whatever, that just was not working out. And then I just feel like the STI also may have had like lingering effects. Like my friend told me when he had it, it took like forever, like months for him to get normal again and even like get comfortable bottoming again. So I kind of feel like that's what I'm going through. It's just like not comfortable. It doesn't feel good. And I'm just like, no, I feel so embarrassed because this is a guy like I've been talking to since before I even came to California. Like I thought he was really cute, really hot, my type. He's like a professor, and I'm like, oh my god, of course when I get a guy that's actually college educated and like has a career and actually is like not trashy, like, and then I just blow it by not being able to take dick. But whatever, it's just getting back out there, recovering, healing, becoming normal again, and just like getting myself back together. But it just was very embarrassing. Like I was just not expecting that because I feel like I have not had that happen, and I feel like many years where I just felt like I cannot take dick. Like that has not been me ever since I got on prep. I've just been like a dick taking slut. Like sex just felt so easy. It felt natural. And it's like I spent like the majority of my 20s being scared of sex, being uncomfortable from bottoming because I didn't know like how to get comfortable and how to get that anxiety over sex out of my mind. And it just was like when I got on prep and discovering poppers and just like even weed or whatever, like alcohol is just kind of like, it helps. Like these are tools that just help relax and set the mood and just make sex so much more enjoyable. But then it was like I had all the tools this time, but it did not feel good. And it's like I've not felt that uncomfortable during sex since pre-2019, or like, yeah, that's when I started like really getting into bottoming, and because I was on prep and like I felt comfortable, I felt safe. But yeah, so this was just like a very raw and weird feeling to be back in that time where it's just like bottoming does not feel good because it's felt so good and amazing and better than it ever felt most of my life in the past 3 years. So it just feels odd getting back into that place where it's just like bottoming does not feel good right now. Like, and I do not like that feeling. So I guess next time I just really need to like use my toys frequently just to get my hole back to normal, and also just definitely bring my butt plug next time because I usually don't travel with it because I just feel like it's extra work, and I feel like when I'm on vacation, like I usually don't really need it. But it's like I feel like I'm getting back to the beginning where it's like I have to rediscover my love of sex and get comfortable and enjoy it physically, because currently that was probably like one of the worst sexual encounters I've had that I can remember, because it's been so long since I just had a moment where I was just like, yeah, bottoming does not feel good right now. So I gotta get myself back to normal because currently my Bussy is broken and out of commission. But thanks for joining me for this episode of Branden's Boy Problems.